Hello everyone, welcome to the Ranting Shop with me, Melissa. I just want to speak to you guys quickly about the reunion that happened, I think probably 4 or 5 days ago, the reunion for Love is Blind. And I'm just going to speak about what kind of irritated me throughout the entire process. First of all, I woke up and I think I woke up after everything had already been filmed, and basically it looked as if there was some technical difficulties, and there were, so it couldn't end up being live like they planned it to be. But I had a huge problem with Vanessa Lachey. I feel as if she was, and everybody had that feeling about her, in that she was really hard on the people that were portrayed as victims and soft on the people that were portrayed as villains. Now, it irritated me watching it, but then I had the thought that maybe because they edited them that way, that does not mean that that's how it was behind the scenes, and they're not like without fault. But that still did not justify her being really tough on people like Marshall for allegedly calling Jackie a transgender during a fight that they were having. But I feel as if that's fair. Like, I call you, you call me transgender, and I tell you you have sugar in your tongue. To me, both of these disses, or both of these things meant to hurt each other, was kind of done. I think the playing field was kind of level in that regard. So it's not like, oh, let's grill Marshall because he said that about Jackie and stay on that topic until, but then Jackie has like, is not facing no accountability for what she told Marshall. I find that to be crazy. That irritated me. Irina basically fighting for her life because she knows coming onto the show that people are gonna dislike her. So she came on the show ready to throw this pity party, ready to give this sob story, and she kept on contradicting herself because on one hand you saying, oh, I didn't mean that, I've spoken to them already, I've apologized. It's been a whole year, so I'm pretty sure that they're over it at this point. But considering the reunion took place a year later, they kind of have to act as if, it's just happening. But she was trying to dig herself this safe hole, but it just wasn't working, because you can't say that you're sorry for doing a particular thing, but then try to justify it by saying it's because you were going through things. It doesn't work that way. And whether or not you were going through things, it still doesn't justify the treatment of Zach, because Zach literally did nothing to her other than not attract her the way she probably thought he would. And that's not his fault. He looks how he looks. So in actuality, it kind of proves the theory that love is blind. Love is not blind, because if you look at Irina, everything was cool with Zach except for when she met him, right? Everything was cool for Jackie except for when she met him. And I feel like there needs to be a level of attraction there, or else it doesn't work. The only reason why it worked with Brett and it worked with Zach and Zach and Bliss, Brett and Tiffany, and Chelsea and Kwame is because outside of that connection that they built in the pods without seeing each other, when they actually did see each other, they were attracted to each other. So I think love is definitely not blind. The only way it will be blind is if they never get to see each other ever, and they only have that connection to go off of. But the moment they ever see each other, it can be a yes or a big no, as you could see. And then another thing that kind of irritated me was they brought up some really petty thing with Paul about how Paul touched this woman's butt, and these rumors allegedly that he was or had something with one of Micah's bridesmaids, and they stretched it out and it was so unnecessary. Like, that clearly you see him trying to kind of acknowledge that, yeah, I bumped into you and I'm sorry, without having to verbally say it. And Vanessa was stretching this stuff out like it was this huge scandal. That irritated me. Paul spent most of the time justifying why he said no, and Micah was made to look like this victim. Bear in mind, she was never her foot was never placed to the fire when it came to her actions with Irina, because she was also as bad as Irina. As much as Irina was probably leading the badness, Micah was agreeing with it and adding to it as well. So the fact that she wasn't addressed was kind of irritating, but I kind of know why she wasn't addressed. Is because she's already been rejected, and I guess they didn't want to like pile all of that on her. But at the end of the day, people do reunions to talk about every single thing. People don't do reunions to nitpick what you're gonna talk to one person about and what they're not gonna talk to one person about. If that's what you're gonna do for a reunion, I think the best thing to do is just not have a reunion, because that's the whole point of it. So she got no flack for being a mean girl. Furthermore, she played a victim because she felt as if, oh, I got rejected and it was so crazy and blah 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 blah. And even after all of that rejection that she felt, she and Paul still hang out after the fact. I don't know why they did that. I don't know what they thought would amount from it, but they tried it and it didn't work. So I think essentially, I don't fault Paul for rejecting Micah, and I don't really feel like he rejected her, because as he said, he loved her. Loving somebody is not. Now, I use that term loosely because they all love each other and they barely knew each other. But what I will say is he was sure he had feelings for her, but he wasn't sure if it would translate into a successful marriage. And if he felt like it would not, I feel like the man is justified in saying that he doesn't want that for himself. And that's completely fine. You know, that's nothing to be grilled down on. I feel like all the things she should have been grilling some people for, she wasn't grilling them for. But then the people that nobody cared about what the hell they did, they got grilled. It was so crazy. Zach spoke about the Irina thing and whatever the case may be, and he made mention of some posts he had on his Instagram. I think people get it confused, because I also got it confused, because I thought he had receipts based on things Irina said to him or whatever, but that's not what he posted on his Instagram. What he posted on his Instagram was a clearer story about him and his mom's relationship and how his mom died and stuff like that. So that is what he was bringing clarity to, not anything to do with Irina or the show. And I probably posted so you guys could see. But that's all that was. Bliss was like, she's over. Yeah, she was over it because it's been a whole year. They've spoken about it before. They've let bygones be bygones. But I think the situation that what irritated Bliss and probably Zach was that even after all that was settled and done with, you still come here playing like trying to play the victim. But there's no victim to play. You were not a victim. Like, you were literally causing chaos and being mean. And because you saw how it was portrayed on TV, you felt like you had to do damage control. And she just ended up looking even worse. So I really wanted her to just be quiet because she's digging herself in a hole, but she just kept talking. And they gave us so much time to just say BS. And I was like, can you guys move on from this crap? Because this is very annoying to listen to. So anyways, they move on to I'm not going in order of what happened because I don't remember. They spoke about Kwame and Chelsea and their whole situation. And I mean, it's still difficult for me to believe that Kwame is happy with Chelsea. I don't know, I just don't buy it. Yes, it's been a year, and yes, they've survived a year, but it's just difficult for me to believe that they're thriving. Maybe they're doing okay, but I just don't think that that's the best match that they could come up. If I feel like both of them could have better matches elsewhere, but they're settling for each other. That's how I see it. But either way, Kwame apologized for talking to Michael and doing whatever he was doing with Michael. I didn't really care for his explanation because we saw what we saw, and I noticed that the people in this cast like to do this a lot. They act as if we didn't see the season, and we didn't see things that they did and things that they said, because even after them seeing their own season, they still come back and their explanations are kind of like, it doesn't really address what they did, you know. It's kind of like a lost cause. I personally didn't care too much about their storyline, but what I could gauge from them is they're okay with their situation, so that's good. According to Kwame, he had a date with Michael or something, and on that date that wasn't aired, they squashed everything and he let everything go with Michael. But us as viewers, what we saw was that, oh, if he knows Michael and Paul broke up, he's gonna like swoop at the opportunity. But that didn't happen. What else could we speak about? The situation with Jackie and Josh. Actually, seeing them on the screen together kind of irritated me, just because of the way Josh was portrayed as just this slimy, grimy kind of dude. Like, you come to Chelsea's party. I don't know if any of them invited him. I doubt any of them invited him, but I guess producers made him show up. He comes. He should have never came, because at the end of the day, people have chosen their partners. You were not chosen. Why would you come? But anyways, he came up like all up on Marshall, talking about, oh, he loves him, he's his bro, and just being so fake, right? And then going back to Jackie and telling Jackie, this guy's not the guy for you, I'm the guy for you. Like, real low vibrational, grimy behavior, kind of disgusting, to be honest. And Jackie always was more attracted to Josh. When she saw Josh, they had to make it a situation where she saw Josh, because they knew when she saw Josh that she would jump ship, and she did. And she didn't care if it hurt Marshall or not, but he did. And I think he put himself in a situation where he was trying to force things with Jackie, and I feel like he also knew things with Jackie was not gonna work, but he was trying. And I think that's why people are so empathetic towards him, because it's like, typically Marshall would be the woman in this scenario, and women empathize with that, because it's like, oh, we go through this all the time, and for a guy to go through this is really sad, you know, because that's typically not how things go. Jackie was definitely playing the masculine role in that relationship. And I mean, she posted receipts on her page talking about, oh, he called me this and he said this, but actually there's no back and forth between her and Marshall. There's just proof of that she was talking about it to her friends and other cast members. So those receipts that she posted kind of had no bearing, no validity. It's not anything that you could use as evidence for anything, because it doesn't implicate him, you know. It speaks to her and what she was saying to other people, and it's still gonna be considered your truth versus the truth, your truth versus his truth, you know. So that was irrelevant. No need to go through that. But she said she begged producers to make her go to the reunion. She begged and she begged, and they told her, no, for your safety, no, you can't go. So that's the reason why she said she wasn't part of the reunion. But I don't know. But I feel as if I don't know why Josh felt like after the reunion it would be a vindication of him, but actually it made him look even worse. I don't know how or what made him think it made him look better. It made him look worse. They both don't take accountability for their actions, and somebody said something very important. They said that even prior to the reunion and prior to like everything going down and stuff, Jackie was saying some cruel stuff about Marshall and Josh too. Like they were joking, trolling people and doing all type of things. But then when stuff really hit the fan, all of a sudden it's this, oh, I'm on my page to apologize and take accountability for Jackie. How can you take accountability for another person? That's for her to do for her own self. Allow her to do that by herself. I noticed Jackie is the type of person that likes to use people for her benefit, and that's disgusting. Because on Nick Vial's show, he was basically stating how Jackie said, oh, she threw him under the bus, and basically she wanted him to just go along with that narrative. Like, that's disgusting, and she's extremely manipulative. I'm just happy she's with the person, I guess, that she feels more attracted to. Good for them. I don't really care for their relationship, and I don't care for them, but good for that situation. And Brett and Tiffany, lovely, great as always. Not much to say about them. They didn't have any drama. The only drama they had was the one with the pants, and they fixed that, and the situation where she was sleeping in the pods. Like, there's nothing much there. As far as the ending of the show was concerned, it really just irritated me how Vanessa kept talking about babies. Oh, when you're going to make the first baby? Who's gonna make the first baby? It was just so annoying. Like, stop worrying about when these people are having kids. Like, I thought we had this conversation on social media before about not asking couples when they're gonna have kids. You don't know these people's situation. You don't know if they're going through fertility issues. You don't know if they have other plans. People just have this really disgusting habit of assuming that because you get married to somebody, children are the next thing. And that's not even necessarily the case. You don't know people's lives, So she kept on asking that question, and that was just annoying me. And to me, it was just crazy. And then they used the most hated cast of the show from a couple seasons ago to ask a question about some stuff, and I feel like they just did that because he had a baby. I mean, that's what people do sometimes. They have a kid and then all their wrongs are suddenly right. It's crazy. But that was my quick synopsis, my quick summary opinion of the reunion. Let me know what you guys think about it. Did you see it? I think it's up on Netflix now, so everybody could go ahead and go watch it and let me know what you think about it if you haven't yet. Bye. See you guys next time.